dun, dun.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode number 3 of season 2 of Verona. I don't know if you heard Mark singing, but we all did. And it was lovely. It was a nice way to start the episode. That's good.
If Mark
Mark,
sings before the stream goes live, did he really sing? That's the question.
I thought you were going to make like a Groundhog Day reference. Like, if Mark sings before an episode, is it going to be a good episode? It's going to be a bad episode? What is the oracular nature of Mark singing before the episode? We'll find out, I guess.
Mark singing.
We'll see. I like the idea. So dice superstition is a thing that I love. I love watching it develop at tables. I love individual players like weird dice stuff. Mark, do you have any weird dice stuff? Or are you just like, it's fine. I'll just roll them and see what happens.
Yeah, I think I just roll them. I don't think I've ever had like a dice superstition. The only thing, and it's less of a dice thing, it's a numbers thing for me. I really hate odd numbers. Like my favorite numbers are divisible by 5, so like 5, 10, 15, 20. And so if I play like an RPG, like a Final Fantasy RPG, I will buy extra potions to get to that number. And if I spend one, the first shop I'm in, I have to buy to get back to 5 potions.
So you always have 10 Pokeballs in your inventory, or 15 or 20.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the idea of having 7 Pokeballs? No way, no sir. Get out.
I love this.
Round it out.
That's great.
Yeah, at least it's going to be an even number. At least. Yeah, I am crazy. Yeah, that's true.
That's great. No, I love that stuff. I mean, some people will like charge their dice before a session, so they'll like leave them on the table with all the best numbers up, so that the weight goes to the bottom. So that when they roll them, this is a thing that people do. People will people have all kinds of weird game superstitions. Yeah. Spending all of this time away from physical dice, I've kind of lost all of mine, but definitely playing around people that play a lot in person. Like, I think the most common one is don't let anybody else touch your dice. Yeah. I think that's the most common one. Like,
yeah, you don't want to borrow the GM's dice because they're gonna roll bad for you.
Yep.
Every time.
Well, I don't
definitely have like.
I mean that I won't bash anybody for doing any superstitious stuff with their dice. I mean, I talk to my fucking plants, so you know, who knows, right?
Yeah, no one dice shame. Okay, please.
Yeah, no dice shaming.
You can buy dice prisons for when they start acting up. You can put them in like a little tiny dice prison.
Yeah,
until they change their ways.
The guys at Burning Wheel have maybe the most complex dice rituals I've ever seen. They started doing it at a game we were playing at Gen Con. I was like, "What are you guys doing?" And they're like, "It's a whole thing with the dice." So if a die fails, if a die fails once. So in those games, it's just D6s. If a die fails once, it gets put into timeout, and then they run out of all of their fresh dice. Then they go back to the timeout dice, and the dice in the timeout, if they succeed, they get put back into the fresh pile. But if they fail, they're out of the game forever. And so all of these guys have like 40 or 50 D6s they just come to the table with, where they're like, all right, we got to rotate them. They got to move through the cycle.
Like a team.
It's a whole thing.
The dice are a team. That they're like, okay, you're playing badly on the bench.
Yeah, they bench the dice.
I like it. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing. Superstition is a funny way for the human brain to attempt to control the world around it. But thankfully, we don't have any real dice. We just have numbers on the screen, and we can just blame the internet.
We've already made it ritualistic. We have emotes that say good shape, bad shape. Like, it's already been ritualized.
Yeah.
And apparently,
the problem is
it's really
that
bad, and I'm not allowed to sing before the session starts either. Or
that's
if
right.
It goes really well, then I have to do it every time.
Yeah. So Dalen, our math magician, at the end of this episode, decide whether or not we got more good shapes or bad shapes, and then we can take into account Mark singing and whether or not it is a conjurer of shapes, and in what way.
Ooh,
good. I like it. That's nice.
The research and data deepens. Yeah.
So besides singing and dice witchcraft, what have you been up to, Mark? How's things?
It's been a week. I've played a lot of D&D. I had like an off-stream game that I play in yesterday, which is just me and some of my LARPing friends. We have a D&D game. God, just trying to sort stuff out. More high roller stuff coming up.
I don't understand that word, off stream?
Off stream, yeah.
What is-
It's imagine doing all of
what does
this,
that
but
mean?
you don't make content out of it. Like
Nobody
it's
is
so
watching
weird.
you.
Yeah.
And when you get a roll wrong, you don't have thousands of people screaming at you about it.
No,
That sounds terrible.
no.
I don't want any of that. I can't GM alone anymore. It's not possible. So are you playing in or are you running this off-stream
no.
game?
Playing, which is really nice.
What?
It's
Madness.
run by a friend of mine. I know it's a blessing. So that's really fun. So I got to do that yesterday. The rest of the week, yeah, just kind of been on the prep, been gymming, been trying to get fit, get healthy, the gym thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just trying to
Getting
get
ready
through the
for
week.
your fight with Ivan Drago. You punching a lot of meat.
Yes.
You're running up and down some stairs.
Yeah, absolutely. Dragging big logs through snow.
Perfect.
Yeah. I get the
Good. Well, I
reference.
can't wait to see you in your fight Mike Tyson in your little green gloves. Looking forward to it. Be good. Be good.
Glass Joe, eat your heart
Yeah.
out.
I will here. Let me do you a solid. I'm going to invite you for 45 seconds. Tell me about your Dungeons and Dragons character, Mark.
No, don't me. I don't know. I find it weird to do that. Like, I guess because, like, you know, I don't want to take up 45 seconds talking about my off-stream.
I want to know about your D&D character. What are you playing? What class are you playing? What race are they? Do you like it?
Artificer. I'm playing the new Artificer. It's a human. She has like a big background developed with the GM to come from a kind of, you know, like in Warhammer 40k, you have like the Imperium is like super fanatical about machines, and they kind of treat machinery as magic.
Like the weird Martian tech priest guys. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's kind of the same, but they treat magic as kind of like every, you know, spell is kind of like a ritual priestly thing.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of like a theocratic magocracy, and it's very what's the word? Dictatorship. So it's all very like heavily controlled, heavily propaganded, and she's like an escapee, who's gone on to do some stuff. So it's fun. Yeah, it's a really fun game.
And I guess this is a thing that we can talk about. Is anybody paying attention to San Diego Comic-Con? Are there things? Because I feel like it's happening and there's a lot of noise, but I have not been able to pick anything interesting out of that noise yet.
Yeah. I mean, I usually follow Twitter for that kind of stuff directly. So I'm just like, I have not seen anyone tweeting about
New
it.
Trailer, the Creep Show on Shudder trailer came out. Those two things are totally badass. There was something else too. Shit. But yeah, it's been a little.
Yeah, right. Something. The Witcher trailer came out too. Yeah.
Witcher trailer.
Weren't they supposed to also, like, wasn't Marvel Phase 4 supposed to be announced?
Okay.
Sure.
I like how JP really wants to participate in this conversation. So it's just, this is what it's like to be in chat, JP, where you're just like, I have things to say. Hey, pay attention to me.
Silent Bob trailer. Have you guys heard about this?
She-Ra season 3 as well.
The new Jay and Silent Bob trailer.
Yeah.
The premise of the movie is that they're going back to stop Hollywood from remaking the Jay and Silent Bob movie. And I'm like, that's fucking genius. And it can only be done once.
I mean, I feel like we're remiss if we don't mention the Cats trailer.
It's so good. I'm so excited.
You're excited. You're loving it.
I love
I've
it.
never seen Cats.
So
I don't know anything about
and
Cats.
magical.
Yeah.
I don't either, but everybody's like, it's just like the Sonic build. And I'm like, no, that's distinctively inappropriate.
There is a certain subset of the internet who at the end of that trailer was like, oh yeah. Yeah, that's my shit right there.
I'm one of them. That's me.
Somebody was very into that.
I love cat people, and I'm ready. My body is ready.
No way, dude. No way. That shit looked horrifying. Like I was watching the trailer, and I'm just like, okay. So we're getting back into cats. We're bringing up like a freaking 20, 30 plus year old show at this point. And
Andrew
what
Lloyd Webber is timeless.
There's moving shit. And I'm like, that's just freaky. And I still don't know what it's about.
Cowards. Y'all are cowards. If you don't like the Cats movie, you're a coward.
Well,
strong opinions.
You can put me in the coward corner because it looks terrifying. Like there's no way I'm gonna watch that.
The gauntlet has been thrown down vis-a-vis cats.
Nope.
All right. Well, so let's make a note and mark the date. It is the 20th today of July 2019. When is this film coming out? Do we know? Do we have a release date for Cats?
Next year.
All right.
No,
well,
it's 2019.
Whenever the Far Verona episode after the movie comes out, we can discuss this again, and we'll check in on how Vana is doing, because I cannot wait.
Every day. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna at all of you on Twitter every day.
Bro. Come on, man.
I'm gonna CGI all of you as cats from the movie Cats.
I have no problem with that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to announce the announcement. JP and I have been working with Andrew Lloyd Webber's estate on a role play one shot involving cats. We're all going to dress up and
we're going to play as a whole.
Cat names. They'll be singing. Yep. They'll be singing.
Could you imagine how ridiculous that would be?
It would be beautiful.
Yeah.
I would just drop out of everything role play ever. I would just be like, I'm done. Goodbye. I quit.
This brand has just jumped the
we found Elspeth, you're such like a positive, happy person, and it feels like we found this one thing that you're just like, no, the light.
How dare you?
Elspeth, I'm tough and cool. Shut up.
Cats has always freaked me out, dude. I don't like the music. It gets stuck in my head. Like it just runs. It's like a hamster wheel of poorly designed. I hate it. I'm just like, just get it out. Get it out. It's like a splinter in my brain right now, dude.
Elspeth, were you in Cats and something happened?
No,
I was wondering that as well.
I had friends who were in Cats, and I had friends who were like singing the songs and shit. So I like know all of them. That's how I feel about most Broadway things. I'm like by association, because my friends and my sister are big into musicals. I'm like, I can't take it anymore. Please stop singing Memories for the 15th time. I'm so done.
Honestly, I have that exact same reaction to The Music Man. Anytime it comes up, I just am like, I hate it because
I can't.
Emotion.
I love when
please somebody get me a clip of Elspeth making a trumpet noise while making the masturbation gesture. That was perfect. Just honk. Beautiful. Thank you so much. This is almost as bad. I don't know if you remember. This is almost as bad as the pre-show of Mirror Shades, where Dodger was trying to explain to us that PSP game where you turn the PSP sideways and and she got everybody doing it.
No.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yep. Oh no.
Oh boy. Well, I'm glad that we have this strong opinion about Cats going on here. We'll check in. We'll check in on Cats Watch 2019
next week.
Next week.
Every week.
Yeah. But I will say I did see, to your point, Wheat, I did see that It trailer. And I gotta say, the first trailer for It 2, the one with the old lady and she's in the house, like the full trailer, it's like one of the best trailers I've ever seen. It's like one of the best trailers. It's really scary. It tells a short story about the movie, and it really because I saw the first one, I was like, it's pretty good, it's okay, and I didn't know there was a sequel, and then I saw that trailer and I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna go see this because the trailer was so good.
My favorite part about the first trailer they released with the old woman that you talked about was that they didn't show Pennywise until the very end, and all he says is "hello," and like that's it. I'm just that brother, and forgive me, but God damn it, he just plays Pennywise so incredibly. It's almost I'm almost sad because like my favorite character from It is hands down Pennywise. Like in the remakes and the movies, it's just amazing. So I can't wait. Yeah. And now that I've been back actually in Nebraska, one of my good high school buddies who sort of grown up with and did shows with for a very long time, we've always been like, he's the one who's always like, you have to watch these horror movies. And I'm like, you have to watch these horror movies. And so now finally, because, I never went to horror movies because my wife doesn't necessarily like them and I wouldn't go by myself. Now I went and saw Midsummer. We saw Annabelle. We saw
Midsummer was so good.
And so I'm like, oh man, like this is my life is starting to become complete because watching a horror movie in the theater is good stuff. Liked Midsummer
There's
a
something
lot.
special about it.
Annabelle, I couldn't believe was rated R. I thought it was the tamest movie, and I still to this I don't know why they it's literally R because of terror, and I felt like it was more PG-13 terror. And then we went and saw Crawl. With the combination Hurricane.
Not Krull. Krull is different.
Not
Krull is the one. Krull is the one with
I'd go see Krull.
Yeah, Krull is the one with the guy from Xena. What's his name? Kevin Sorbo. I think he was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean The Legend of Hercules?
Which is about gators and actually super well done. Unfortunately, it's only like an hour and 27 minutes, and I kind of feel cheated when I see a movie that's less than 90 minutes in the theater, but whatever. That's
right. Less than 3 hours. What are they thinking nowadays?
I mean,
God, that's like the standard.
Yeah. You need 2 hours and then an intermission, and then another 2 hours, and then a second intermission.
Yeah.
So,
dude,
watching a lot of horror theaters, and
I really like, to your point about the way that they rate movies, I really like after a movie going and looking up the more detailed ratings or the more detailed explanations of why the movie was rated that way, because you can always get some really funny or interesting stuff. And out of context ratings for movies are really great. Like with Midsummer, I saw a website that showed the usual stuff like drinking and drugs and violence and sex. And then it was positive role models, none. I saw another one that was man vapes constantly as one of the reasons for it getting that rating is that someone is vaping all the time throughout the movie, which
we had a complete discussion just about that because it's not cigarettes. It didn't have any basis in the movie at all. I mean, I'm really curious on because I can't imagine there's a business. It was literally a guy with a box mod and just something like this. And there was actually a moment, Adam, I was like, how are they going to work this into the movie? Because why else would he be vaping? And, because do you think that the screenwriter was actually
so here's what happened. I can almost
takes a giant puff and releases a huge
I can
cloud
almost
and
guarantee.
Says, what the fuck?
Yeah, I can almost guarantee the reason why he's vaping all the time was just to make him look like an asshole. The writers were like, what easy thing can we do to make people think this guy is a douchebag? And they just made him vape all the time. And it was just
hit my vape
shorthand.
That statement.
Exactly. No, and I'm not saying it's fair, but I guarantee that's what it was, where it was just how do we make this guy seem like an obnoxious millennial? Let's just get him just doing huge rips all the time. And that was it. I guarantee that's why. It had nothing to do with the character.
Dumb, but that's okay because you're probably 100% right.
Yeah. Which is
I vape because I quit smoking, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But I like to vape, so. And
there's nothing inherently wrong with vaping, but we use character shorthand like that to illustrate things. And sometimes it's not fair. Sometimes it's not fair.
Yeah. It's a good explanation.
Yeah.
So anyway, been going and seeing all the movies. Just getting the house all set up. I've got a little more populated shelf now from last week. So
you don't look like you live in an empty warehouse anymore.
I know it looked pretty grim. So
the Cornhusker State is doing you right.
Yep. It's been
good.
hot. We got I finally got a shower door in my shower. I can use it tomorrow, so I don't have to walk across the house to use a shower. Life is good right now. Life is good. Can't complain.
You got your nerd stuff. You got your vape, and hey, you can take a shower whenever you want.
Shower. You know what? So it's a glass. All right. So, all right. I'll tell the story.
I can hear you trying to decide whether you want to talk about this or not.
I am. My wife and I, we went to Vegas, right? And we stayed at this we stayed at this loft. It was like Airbnb or VRBO. And of course, it's like this totally dope loft. But we were like, oh, let's like stay off the strip. And so we stayed there. And in this place, they had a steam shower. Has anyone ever like used a steam shower before? I hadn't until I went here at Vegas. So yeah, like the way it works is that you start this steam in the shower and it gets really hot. And then you take a cold shower and it is fucking amazing. It is just like being in some sort of deep tropical jungle. And, just so we were like, hey,
everybody in chat who is Finnish, Swedish, Norwegian, I'll even give it to the Danes. Please go ahead and tell us all about how you've been doing this forever. We know.
Okay.
Just go ahead.
That's cool.
You're allowed. Go ahead.
I'm happy to admit
there it is.
I'm late to the game. This is, a sauna. Yeah. Okay. So, but we were like, if we build a house, we're gonna put a steam shower in. So we did, but it's like we've had it in and everything's been done, but it's a steam shower, so you have to like seal it. So they had to put like a special door, and it took them like fucking forever to like measure this door, and it took forever to fucking cut glass. And like I'm a very impatient person. Like I love the fact that I can get shit sent to me next day or same day, or like I'm like, if I get in my head, it's like, yes, I would like it now, and my brain won't shut up. And so anyway, I've just had 2 weeks of that. Going across to like a different room to take a shower has been really just annoying. So yeah, I'm fucking stoked that I got this glass installed, that tomorrow all the it's sealed and I can take a steam shower. There you go.
That's very exciting. Hot damn. Yeah. I can't do that. So I appreciate that you are now able to.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep. Yep. Well, should we play this game? Should we do the thing?
Let's play
it. So if anybody in the group knows how to play the banjo, now is the time.
I have a banjo.
Now is the time to go get that banjo.
I have strings
and
on it.
start picking as fast as you can, because we got an old-timey car chase to deal with here between a farm vehicle and a space vessel. So that's what's on the docket today. So let's get caught up before we get started. And I always forget we don't have goals to write. Before we get started, let's watch that recap, and then let's go for a car chase. Previously on Far Verona, Yasna attempts to hold the Crux troops at bay to allow the others to escape to the roof. She shouts for Martin's help, but as he fires his mag pistol, he misses the mark. Yasna makes a hard decision and leaves him behind. Martin is struck by laser fire. She makes the climb to the roof. Meanwhile, Haley attempts to manually reprogram a farm drone, gaining control of it, though she and her new friend are still trapped in the storage silo. Up above, combat continues as Autumn indicates Haley's plan. Yasna, seeing the burning horizon getting closer, suggested might be time to leave. Down below, Hadil seems to agree, making a quick maneuver out of the hands of the Crux soldiers and running for the mess hall. The storage silo opens with a hiss, and Haley, riding on the back of the pesticide drone, emerges into the rust-colored light. The Crux open fire, severing a pesticide line, spraying them with burning poison and sending them falling back. This buys everyone some time to climb down the side of the comm center and make their way toward the vehicle bay. Everyone except Christine, trapped up top. Johnny clambers up the wall and makes a daring rescue. In the escape, Autumn is injured, but presses on. The mess hall erupts in a terrifying explosion, the work of Hadil removing 5 more Crux pieces from the board. Inside the machine shop, the group finds a heavily refitted truck that's been armored up by some extant members of the UPC. A good find. As Unit A emerges from the shuttle, observed by their mysterious Triangulum officer, a familiar brogue comes to their commanding officer, ordering them to breach the bay. After a brief discussion about ants? Is it a red barrel? Is there something explosive inside?
Ants.
Why would there be ants in the barrel? No, it's not a barrel
Elspeth's
full of
just
ants.
like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up.
They're ants. They're ants, but hear me out.
An attempted escape through the back wall and a tango with the possible future, the group hurls a fuel barrel out into the yard, drawing fire from the Crux. And as Autumn uses her psionics to knock out their commanding officer, the party prepares to gun it and burst free from the vehicle bay. That's my favorite recap ever. That's the best one. I love it.
Ants.
So that's where we're at. I also remembered between just the beginning of today's episode and now that Roll20 supports GIFs. So I just put a cool GIF on the screen there for everybody to take a look at while we're doing what we got.
You was Adam.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that was me. So we'll just clear that out of the way. That's fine. So so you were in this truck. You are going to use this truck to escape from your current predicament. I have set up a little range tracker in the system here. And we'll talk about how vehicles work. We're gonna do a little chase scene, but what we're gonna learn today is the same stuff that if we need to do like a vehicle battle or a space starfight or whatever, it's all the same system. So it's basically figuring out how far away you are from any given thing, and if you're trying to get further or closer to it, and then with guns and what have you. But before you leave, you have a passenger you want to pick up, Johnny, I believe. Hadil is hiding behind the Crux shuttle. And gave you the secret PCI language for like, yo, pick me up on your way out. So let's remind ourselves where everybody is. So the Countess and Haley and Yasna, you are all in the cab of the truck. And then there is the open back of the truck, and it has a standing position and then two kind of benches. And Johnny and Catherine, Trina, Katie, Christine, she's in the back with you, clinging to you for dear life, like a synth backpack. And so your plan, Johnny, is that as Yasna guns it out, you've bought yourself time at least to attempt an escape from where you currently are. You want to try to lean out and grab Hadil?
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna just like in one fell swoop, just gonna poink. Just gonna grab her with my crazy strength and just swing her.
You are pretty strong.
Back, yeah.
Yeah. What's your brawn at? You get a 3?
Brawn is, I believe, the highest one for me. Yeah. Let me double check. It is. Okay. It is a 4.
Okay. Yeah. So you're very strong. Okay. Cool. So that'll be part of it, certainly.
Yeah, has to be, right? He's like had to be a bouncer at some point, probably.
Yeah, well, and also you got to carry around, carry kegs around and, giant containers of ants and what have you. Okay, right. So Yasna, let's start with you.
Great.
You're going to put the pedal to the metal and just try to get away from here, right? That was the plan. Just get away from the farm to begin with, and then we'll talk about where you're headed once you get out away from the general vicinity.
Yeah, I mean, well, Hadil obviously, and then I think the idea was that we know that north is sort of the city that we were going to, and that we would, use the fire, but eventually we would want to be going towards the city, and that the fire would act as cover for us to kind of get far enough east so that we could go north.
Yep, that sounds about right. Okay.
Yep.
So let's have you roll right now to get, because I assume, Yasna, you're going to help Johnny with this thing. You want to try to drive close enough that Johnny can actually lean out and grab the thing. So are you focused on helping Johnny, or are you focused on getting away? Like, are you going to be assisting or doing something different in this case?
Are you're asking me?
Yeah, for you, Yasna, because Johnny's going to need to get close enough to Hadil to be able to pull this off.
No, yeah, I think if there like wasn't a quick scene, maybe there's an exchange between Johnny and like I'm clearly made known that Hadil is right there. So I would make the effort to get Hadil and then go our route.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm trying to decide if I need you to make a roll on your own or if you are just assisting in this case. I think probably just getting the truck up and running. I think we'll have you roll, but with no difficulty in the pool. Okay. So make a drive roll, but just have nothing, like no purple, no red, nothing on the right hand side.
Literally like just so that we can be moving forward.
This is just to gun it and get it out there. I just need to see how many good shapes you generate. Like if it's enough to a success is enough to get you going and like gun it out of there. All you need is one success. if you get any advantage, this is for me to know how helpful it is for Johnny, and like we're looking to spend that. So I'm giving you an opportunity just to accumulate some good shapes. You may or may not get successes, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, I have reset my pool. I'm hitting driving. Let me make sure I have that going, and I'm hitting driving.
Oh, and also, sorry, before you roll, the handling on this truck, anytime you make a drive roll with it, just put 1 black die in the pool, because the truck is not got great handling. So that'll be the only negative die in your pool. There's no difficulty.
Okay. All right.
Just because it's a big janky truck.
Boom. Boom.
Okay. Hold on. Let me roll that. I'll roll that black one for you because you didn't.
Well, wait. You said every time I made a roll.
Yeah, it's okay. The die came out blank anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
You're fine. So it's just that when you're engaged when you use a vehicle, it'll have a number for handling between like -3 and +3. And if it's a minus number, then those are black dice, because the truck is just janky, right? But you managed to overcome it, and you get a success and an advantage, which isn't enough to give Johnny any kind of direct benefit, I don't think, unless Johnny is literally the next person that goes. Let me double check. All right, with 1, you can add a blue to the next allied character's check. So that's good. So you get the thing going. It doesn't stall out. You have enough fuel to get you started. Despite the hacked firmware of the vehicle, it is still responding to your controls. And you come rushing out of the vehicle bay. The Crux troops are already pretty scattered. They've got their own problems, and you head towards the shuttle enough that Hadil should be able to run towards it, and then with Johnny's help get pulled up into the back. So that's what we see happen, right? We see you barreling towards the shuttle. We see Hadil juke out from the back of the shuttle and run towards alongside the truck. And she starts reaching up to you, Johnny. What do we see you doing?
Johnny is like spitting on both of his hands, like prepping to, get his good arm out. But how close are we to Hadil from here?
You'll be close enough. She's gonna have to jump and grab your arm because the height of the vehicle, right? It's taller. The bed is taller than she is, because you get these big tractor tires, right? So she'll have to jump up and grab you. So you'll have to lean out to get her.
Okay, so he's gonna just kind of slowly just hoist himself over a little bit, so like his torso is just hanging over the edge. And then he's gonna yell at her, "Hey, just grab my hand. When we come around here, just grab my hand." So then he's just got his arm outstretched to her. It's very steady. He's confident that he can do this.
Okay. The Crux see her and start firing. So we're getting blasts of laser fire hitting the dust and evaporating it. We're getting chunks of sod getting kicked up from those blasts. She's running like full on Terminator sprint, head down, eyes up, just booking it towards you. You start leaning over, Johnny, but then Catherine is like pulling on your arm, because as you lean over, or Christine or whatever her name is, as you start leaning over, she's pulling on your other arm in a panic, and she's like, "What are you doing? No, you're gonna fall!" And like trying to keep you from leaning out. What are you gonna do? You got like a second, because she's like just fucking with you. You could try to still do it. You're stronger than she is, but she's like terrified and trying to keep you from falling out of the vehicle.
Well, unfortunately, since she's terrified, Johnny really doesn't have the capacity to like think quickly here. So I guess he's just gonna go like with instinct, because if someone's on him and trying to like pull him back from what he's originally like, got his mindset to, he's probably just gonna push her away, like straight up.
Yeah. And how aggressively do you do this? Is this like a full serving of elbow cocktail to the face, or?
Yes, that's unfortunately that is probably what he would do in a situation if someone's trying to keep him from doing what he is designed to do, or what his mission is at hand. Okay. He will probably just point right to the face, and not even meaning to do it, but probably instinct So
well, and also that she's not a human, so you can harm her as you like. It doesn't get your programming doesn't interrupt, so you can just slam her in the face and knock her back. Okay, and you're doing it without thinking. This is without malice. All right, well, let's see if you can get her off of you. She's very clingy. Just trying to attach herself to you. Make a brawling roll.
Brawling. Okay. Just
brawl is the skill. But add to your pool, add two purple.
2 purple. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just roll brawl.
Yeah. Add 2 purple, click out, and then oh my god, it's a critical success.
Sorry, Christine.
So she gets just blasted in the face. Just like boom. Well, so this is an opportunity for you to show us like your intent was to get her off of you, and you crit her. So you deal what's your unarmed damage?
I actually have no idea. I haven't checked. How do I check this?
She has a soak of like 2. It's 4, I think, because of your bronze. So 4, 5, 6, 7 damage and a crit. So let's see. So you just like smash her right in the face. You probably won't kill her.
I probably won't kill her, but is that enough to like knock her circuits out for like the trip? Can we do that?
Let's see what the critical injury is here. So can you roll?
I don't want her to die. I just want her to be in a coma.
No, coma forever. That would be great, because then she wouldn't be as clingy and he wouldn't have to worry about her, while he's trying to like save other people.
I think she's up to some shit. I don't trust her.
Roll a D100. So just in chat, in Roll20, type just /R space D100. And we'll see. A 55. Okay, so 55 is a fearsome wound. Increase the difficulty of all presence and willpower checks by 1. So she becomes malleable. She's terrified. You slam her in the face with your elbow. She staggers back, grabs her face. She goes from the bench that she's on to the other side of the truck. And just stares at you like concussed from this sudden blast in the face. And so she's not talking or moving really, and she's just holding her face, looking at you like, what just happened to me? So now you are free and clear to make the move to save Hadil. So the truck tears along the dusty ground. Hadil approaches at high speed. Describe what you're doing, and then we'll get you to roll to grab her.
So, after Christine is on the other side of the truck, he just kind of shrugs, and then, goes back to leaning over the side of the truck. But he is, like, again, really, really strong. So he's able to be steady, even though the tractor's super bumpy. He's able to just focus, steely focus on Hadil. Still got his arm outstretched, looking directly at her, and is just going to try and swoop her up and kind of swing her over like you would. You've seen people do it with horses or whatever, get on the horse. No, that might dislocate their shoulder or what the fuck ever, but he's going to try doing that.
It's a pretty cowboy maneuver for sure.
Right.
Okay, put in your pool, put 1 blue die from Yasna's good driving and 3 purple dice.
Okay.
And then make let's see. You're going to make an athletics check, but actually because Hadil is helping you, put an upgrade on your side if you don't already have one in the pool there.
Okay, I do already have one. So should I add another?
No, just leave it.
Okay.
Do you have an upgrade, or do you mean you have a yellow die?
There's an upgrade. Yeah, I saw it on the sheet. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then I would roll athletics for this.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah! There you go. It's clean. It does it. There's no additional strain or anything. And as the vehicle jostles and bumps forward, Hadil jumps up in the air, grabs your wrist, you grab hers, and you just use her momentum to swing her up into the back of the truck. She's holding a stolen Crux pistol, which she doesn't stop to thank you. She doesn't give you a look of gratitude. She just turns, and fires back at them as you continue tearing out into the dust fields.
Okay. But yeah, he's not looking for a thank you. Just glad that we managed to get her up there. So whew.
Yeah. And Christine is just clinging to the side of the truck, trying not to fall off. And now that she's not holding on to you, she's looking pretty terrified. So Haley and the Countess, you are. We cut back to the interior of the cab, and Haley, you've got your like crayon drawing out, right? Are you navigating, or what is the plan here?
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to be like the navigator GPS system for Yasna, so that she can focus on driving and maneuvering. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, we'll start you off at short range from the shuttle. Given that you've disengaged, you're peeling away, trying to get away from here, and the Crux are rushing to the shuttle to chase you. Now, this is a chase between an armored truck and a like orbital, like a vehicle that's meant to traverse space to the atmosphere. It's not going to be as fast down here as it would be in space, obviously, but it's definitely faster than the truck. You have a little bit of a lead, and you can head out, but it won't be a game of speed. They'll be able to catch you. So you're going to need to eventually find somewhere to hide or to get off the road, get some cover. And none of you, you got to lose them. And none of you have any idea whether this vehicle has weapons or not. So that will complicate.
When you say this vehicle,
somewhat.
do you mean theirs or ours?
Theirs. You definitely know yours doesn't. Yeah, yours has a mount for a vehicle, but no for a weapon.
We didn't look for one. I thought
Hill's got a pistol, but
yes, I thought you had a plan that was like we go through the wall of fire to produce cover. Wasn't that our?
That is
initial?
the plan. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I believe that was the initial plan. Yes.
That seems like a good opportunity to at least like slow them down, because they'll probably take more time to decide if they can risk going through a giant wall of fire.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we cut to an aerial shot, right? We can't even see the truck because of the dust clouds. It's kicking up as you go. There's this big kind of cone in your wake of dust, and we can see behind you the purple glow of the shuttle's anti-grav engines kicking in as some of the troops jump into the shuttle to give chase. You're in an open area of terrain. You could cut into the overgrown fields and try to like grind through that, but it's going to be tough for you because you're a land vehicle, right? With wheels. There's a single kind of dirt road that connects this farm to a slightly larger dirt road in the distance, and that dirt road cuts across this wall of fire off in the direction of the east where you're going. Or you can cut north and head for the old Tenya's highway, which you can see off in the distance. But if you want to go towards the fire, that is certainly an option. You can pull hard on the wheel and go right to cut through it first. But the current, let me upgrade. Your current truck speed is 1. I think you are currently going as fast as this truck can go. Yeah, so you can't increase the speed of the truck at all, but you do have a little bit of time. So I guess the question becomes, what do you do, everybody? You're sitting in the box. You're looking at each other. What are you gonna do?
I'm so on a blank. Like, I have no idea what I can do. I am smart, and that's about it. But not in the game. But not in real life.
Johnny,
well, so tell us about Autumn Vasquez like panic. What does it look like? You're sitting there in this like shitty truck. It smells like oil and terrorism. What are you gonna do? Like, what do we see?
I think she's honestly like looking towards Yasna, and her eyes are just wide, and there is just she's like looking at the console, but also like looking at like just looks blank, like I look right now, because our expressions are the same. I have no idea what I can even do to help. Like, she's like a medical student and is just like, ah.
Right.
So-
Yeah. I don't imagine you've ever been in a vehicle chase like this before.
I don't imagine she's been in like a wheeled vehicle before. This is like her first time.
Right.
In
This is a pretty primitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That completely makes sense. Excellent. Okay. Good.
What do we know about anything else in the cab of the truck, right? Like Haley had some sort of access, I think at least a camera.
Yeah,
maybe
so if you look
communications, or is there-
around,
yeah.
yeah, if you look around, there is the big like windscreen in front of you. It's pretty scratched, but you have a decently clear view. There is a limited HUD that is currently showing that you are pushing the truck's like maximum speed in this terrain. There's a fuel readout. All of that stuff is displaying on the overhead. There is a smaller like driver's computer built in next to the wheel that is displaying the somewhat buggy hacked firmware that was applied to this vehicle.
Right.
A lot of the safety protocols have been disabled on it. And so there's that. There's the computer. There is a glove compartment. And then there are the windows. And there's a big window behind you where you can turn. You can see the truck, the bed behind you.
Would there be any sort of like communications device? Like
Yes.
comms or anything like that?
There is definitely whatever the sci-fi equivalent of like a ham radio is. There would be a short range. Let me say it in a sci-fi way. There'd be like a short range radio transmitter in the computer. Yeah, totally.
Would that be able to hail the ship?
You want to like call the shuttle?
I don't know.
That is chasing you.
I am exploring
mean-
options, Adam. We're
Almost, yeah. I mean, if you could broadcast just a general message, but yeah, you don't know what like their particular like comm channel is. But if you just broadcast an open message, you can probably pick it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my idea. Maybe I turn to Haley and I say, like, can you call off the dogs? And
What do you?
yeah,
How?
perhaps you call them away. A bigger problem.
Like a fake
you-
distress signal?
Act as if you are them, and make them go away.
You want me to act like I'm a soldier?
Correct.
Yes, I don't know that's gonna work. I sound like this. This is what I sound like.
Can you not change your voice?
I can try.
I'm like literally thinking you can. Can't you process any voice?
I don't imagine
Yasna has,
her past would
Yasna has a pretty high
called for her to
opinion.
sound like a
Yeah.
sound like
She has a pretty high
an
opinion of
older
you.
male soldier. Oh my god.
I mean, I'm thinking I know, what I know about Haley. I think it's totally possible that maybe, could literally act her way out of this.
Could I here's what I could maybe do since I have some experience with computers now. Is there a way that I could get my voice through the comms unit and alter it a bit? So that it sounded deeper or
Yeah, would this be something that you're doing, or are you messing with the software that processes the voice through the computer?
I guess if there's a way I could do it myself, but I
think
just
for
don't
you it
know
would just be
why.
acting. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know why that she would be programmed with like a register like that.
I don't think she would. It would have to just be like a
Yeah.
person like faking their voice. But you could also introduce some kind of like modulation to the system if you can make it work, right? We know
Yeah, I
how
think
much
I would-
luck Lil Haley's had with computers so far. She's not a computerologist here.
I put skill points in it. Because you know what? Failure is learning. That's just what it is. Yeah, let me try and do, since I have access to the HUD that the voice com's built into. I'll try and use my computer skill to modulate it in a way that deepens the register.
Okay. All right. Let's have you make a computer test on this radio.
Okay.
Let's see. It's not really designed for this, but it does have software for transmitting voice. So let's say put three purple dice in your pool.
3.
And then make it's not easy. Make a computer test. You can buy yourself an upgrade if you want, with a story point, but
yeah, let me do one story
Just
point.
upgrade, or you spend some XP and upgrade your rank in computers too.
Suddenly I know
don't
how
have
to computer.
enough. I need like
Need
20
more.
to
Need
upgrade
more.
to the next level.
Oh,
And I don't
damn.
have. I have
Okay.
I just
All right,
realized
so give yourself an upgrade.
that's
we're
one blue
basically
tie.
no, that's, you put the upgrade at the top. It says upgrade
sorry,
on your
sorry,
side,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I just realized, by the way, that what we're doing is the plot from Home Alone 2, where Kevin uses the voice recorder to change the voice to his dad's to pay for the hotel. That's what we're doing.
See, that seems like
Haley,
that
if
would
it
be
fails,
in
you can
Haley's
do it.
wheelhouse. That's in Haley's wheelhouse. Absolutely.
Hey, it's me, my own dad. What's up? It's Mr. McAllister. Send me 40 pizzas. Okay, good.
God, that's so
That's
scary.
literally it.
Yes, my dad is Satan. Thank you. All right.
Okay.
we do
One
that.
upgrade.
Make that-
3
Make that roll.
purples.
Yeah,
Really
three purples.
absurd.
We got an upgrade.
Truly
Good
absurd.
shapes. Let's see them.
Oh, this is
Good shapes. Good shapes. Good shapes.
Oh my
so many
God.
shapes. Okay, so
What
What happened? What is this? What is
Okay,
this?
so-
Something good.
so many shapes. All right.
Fucking plan
That's
ever.
shape.
So you
That's
get
shapes.
four
hell?
successes, right?
One of which is
And
a
a crit, but three threats. So you triumph. You get exactly what you need. There's no way they will be able to recognize your voice. It'll come through in a much lower register. They'll think that there's either something damaged in the computer or whatever. Like you have that. You're great. You did good. But yeah, this three threat. Let me see what I want to spend that on. It's a lot. Let's see here. So I got 3 I can spend, huh? The active character falls prone. You just fall down.
I mean,
Okay.
she's
All
small in
right,
a big
so
car. She falls down.
I think that I think I'm gonna spend it. I can grant the enemy a significant advantage in the ongoing encounter. I think what happens is that you have to disable some form of security on the in the radio, and as a result, you make it easier to track you. So I think probably what happens is that you're able to broadcast, but there's some damage that allows the crux to track in on that radio. And so they're able to track you, but you can communicate with them. And you can still hide the signal. You still got your crit and you got that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we cut to the shuttle and everybody's getting in, and the pilot turns to the that triangulum knight that we saw before. And he says, he's like, "Target lock acquired, ma'am." And she just gestures like, "Go, fucking go get him." And the thing picks up, and they're going to use their action to increase the shuttle speed to 1. They got to spend an action every time to go faster. So they match your speed, but you're at short range. So we see them like pick up and start following you. So while Haley's messing with the computer, typing away on the pad, Yasna, this is like you're driving at like max speed, right? You're taking maneuvers to like get away, right? Is that it? an accurate assessment of what's going on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So for you,
sure, why not?
I mean, you could be driving. You could be driving at a safe speed.
Why not?
Speed so that we actually take flight at. We're trying to go as fast as we fucking can.
Right. You rip past a sign that says like 60 kilometers an hour, and you just fly past it, spins around comically.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course it does. Yeah, it has to.
There's like a little thing like flashing, like you know how you pass them, it's like, dude, mile per hour.
Slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah.
This is a school zone.
There is a crosswalk employee that's like, whoa, I'm standing here.
Wow, whoa there. Okay. So you are you're already going as fast as you can, but you're driving dangerously. So you're like ripping through this bad terrain. Basically, you just need to make a piloting check. And the piloting check's difficulty is how big the vehicle is. So let me check on the truck. The truck silhouette is 2. It's not that big. Okay. So make a pilot check with two purples in it. And all you need is 1 success.
Okay. Piloting check. Go.
Okay, there you go. All right. So take a strain.
Okay.
You got two good shapes. You're good. You keep it on the road. You don't lose control. Nothing really bad happens. And you're going as fast. You've maxed it out. The little readout is in the red, and it stays there as you tear down this bumpy dirt road. In the back, Johnny and the synths are like clinging to the seats. You are not meant to be going this fast. You can see Hadil has stopped shooting. She looks at the pistol, tucks it into her belt, and she looks at you, and then back, and you can see this purple glow up in the distance as the shuttle starts coming after you. And Hadil looks at you, and now she kind of gives you a nod, and she says, "Thanks for not leaving me behind."
I just did what anyone with unnatural strength would probably do.
Do we have a plan?
I guess the plan right now is just to sit back here and hope they know what they're doing up front.
And as she's talking, she's got a scarf, and she's pulling it up over her like nose and mouth because there's dust blowing around. And she looks now, noticing Christine. She registers Christine has been hit in the face but doesn't ask. And she says to you, "Where's Martin?"
You mean which Martin? You which one?
Johnny. Jesus.
I don't remember which one was Martin.
She looks in the cab, and then she looks at Christine. She looks at you. The only one of us who's not here in the truck.
Yeah, I guess he must have. Maybe he just didn't want to come. I don't know. I'm not in charge here. I just pick people up into the truck.
Why are you playing coy with me? Did you leave Martin behind on purpose?
I would never leave Martin behind on purpose, but I'm not saying the other people in the vehicle would leave Martin behind on purpose. I mean, nothing was done purposefully here.
Do you look at Yasna when you say that?
Yes.
Okay.
She like turns her head, like looks directly at Yasna, turns back. Or he does.
Okay. Hadil follows your gaze to Yasna, looks back at you. And then she doesn't. She looks at Yasna and she just like nods slowly, like, yes. Sometimes we have to make hard decisions. And she turns back to you.
Sometimes we have to make easy decisions.
And she says, well, that's a shame. He knew things. Was he alive or dead the last time you saw him?
I can't rightly say. He was on the ground squirming for a good 10 minutes or so, so maybe.
Well, let's hope he's dead.
I mean, I wouldn't wish death on anybody, but, I'm not going to disagree with you there. He wasn't very nice.
We can have a funeral for him later. And she taps on the window to try to get like someone's attention inside.
Did we hear any of that, or is it like the
no? Because outside it's just like
because
the fucking dust storm is ripping around you. So yeah, you didn't hear anything. You just hear Haley playing with the radio. So there's a lot of like squealing, and then Haley will say something in the radio, and then it'll come back sounding all weird. I don't know if you know what she's doing, but yeah, it's loud in the truck.
That kid has done more than I have this entire scenario. So Autumn is just like let the crazy ninja child do what it needs to do. But hearing
not
like
a child.
That's Mark talking. That's Mark Hume.
She's older than you are.
Yeah, she is.
That's very
yeah, I mean she's occupied, and Yasna is obviously driving the truck.
Yeah, I'll turn around and see Hadil. Probably very gratefully to see someone who seems to know what they're doing.
Yeah. She makes the universal roll the window down gesture. Yeah, there's a button. You hit it, and the thing comes down. In the cab, suddenly, hot air, dust blowing around from outside. And Autumn, you look up and you see Hadil. And Hadil has a pistol that she's just putting away, and she says, "I need a gun."
Autumn looks like points at the gun in her belt, like
no, something longer range, a rifle. Yasna, give me your gun.
I suppose it would be, I couldn't rightly have it on my back and drive, so I suppose it'd actually just be next to me, right there. Yeah. So
it's just sitting with Haley. It's bigger than
basically. I give the universal
like because you're driving white knuckle, like
I'll pull the rifle up and awkwardly shove it through the hole towards Autumn.
Yeah, you pass it
not
up
to get my fingers anywhere near the trigger.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
She just like deadpans you, just like shoot at them with it.
Is that thing going to be able to do anything to that shuttle?
She shrugs. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess so.
She nods and she says, "Put your seatbelt on." And she hits the button and the window starts coming back up. So Hadil turns around, goes to the back of the truck. I think she kind of steps over you, Johnny, and goes to the back of the truck. And there's a clip on her belt, and she clips herself into the truck's railing, and then starts adjusting the scope on the gun and like getting range on this shuttle that is starting to speed up behind you.
Okay.
So Yasna and I guess Haley, but Haley's not Haley's working with the radio right now.
Right.
Where do you go? Yasna, you're driving the truck, you're getting a little bit of distance, and you can see up ahead of you there's an intersection. There's a larger road. You're coming off of a dirt road towards this main road that a bunch of the farms connect to. It's like the only thing where you could get two vehicles passing each other. Right now, there is dead foliage on either side. And Johnny, you can hear it like whipping against the side of the truck. Occasionally something will be overhanging and you'll see it smash against the side of the truck and get broken off as you're pulling down this thing. But you can see up ahead of you, Yasna, there's an intersection. And as best you understand it, without like an overhead tactical thing, if you turn left at this intersection, you'll be out in the open for a little while, for a couple of clicks, and then there'll be somewhere up there'll be an on-ramp onto the old Tenya's highway, which is like an abandoned, like 6-lane, like mega highway that leads up into Tenya City directly. It's the fastest way to get back to town, but you'll stay out in the open. If you go right, you're going towards the fire, and then maybe a way to loop around back to Tenya's.
Right. Are you when you said out in the open a couple of clicks, are you insinuating that if we got to the highway that somehow we would be safe?
The inverse of that.
Got it.
This part of the old Tanya's highway is essentially a concrete uplifted road that goes over a bunch of abandoned slums heading towards town, but there's nothing above it. There's just like street lights and maybe like some abandoned cars.
Sure.
But nothing between you and the sky.
It would be the fastest.
Great. So
it would be the fastest. Yeah.
I think we're going to go with the original plan, which is hopefully Haley trying to deceive the ship and make another situation happen while we are alternatively looping around through the fire as a means to try to lose them, even if it's like losing visual for everyone else who could be watching, understanding that they are tracking.
Okay.
So yes, we are going right, Adam.
You put on the right turn signal.
Actually,
so Haley,
turn on the left turn signal.
That'll get him.
That'll get him.
You turn right, and they just turn left. They're like, wait a second, but they signaled left. Oh no, man, the Crux are so dumb. All right, so Haley,
Adam.
you have to follow the law. It's the law.
It's the law.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm patched through. Yeah.
Yes, you have adjusted the input output modulators on your radio, so now the outgoing signal will not sound like a 9-year-old girl.
Good. Okay, great. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I need to get a voice changer. Everybody's got a voice changer.
This is a message from the main ship. We have an incident going on board, and we need all units to return immediately. There is no time to explain, but this does take priority and precedence, so do not dawdle.
There is a pause as you send this out. And the shuttle actually has a name. Let me see what it is. Very dangerous reactor leak. Okay.
We need everyone here, please.
Yeah, so there's a moment, so it goes
birthday.
Out. Yeah. Repeat, you are missing Jeff's birthday. Come in. So there's a moment, and then you hear,
we have cake. There is cake for everyone.
In the kitchen, right now.
This is Delphine 4. Can you repeat?
I said there's cake for everyone. What don't you understand?
Did you say there's cake? I don't...
There's cake. We never have cake. You know we never have cake.
So I feel like what's happening here is not so much that you want to like convince them to go back to the ship, but you want to delay them with confusion.
No, I didn't make the
you certainly
joke.
killed
Somebody
Marcus,
else did, and I went along with the bit. I'm trying to make the illusion that there's an emergency on board.
Yes.
That there's an
so they have to return. There's some kind of emergency that you have. There's an unspecified emergency.
It's so urgent that it's like there's not time to explain. We just need everybody to get back to the main ship now, or it's gonna go real sideways.
Okay, so all right. So the response, there's also cake. So the response you get is,
pleased to meet you. Can you send authorization code? Your signal's all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah, it's just with the 5.
Perfect. It's great. That's fantastic. So inside the
authorization codes, okay? This is an emergency. What don't you understand about that? Do you want people to die? Is that what you want? You want them to die?
How's Crux?
Mate, like honestly, man, you're the best. You're the fucking best.
So they're very confused about whether maybe there's cake, but there's also murdering, and no one knows what the hell's going on. So
I have pretty high deception. If I
let's have you make a roll. I really don't think that without authorization codes, you can't call back and be like, yeah, your mission's over, come back to the ship, but it'll definitely confuse them if you can succeed. So it's pretty outlandish. It's a pretty outlandish plan. Give yourself a, let's see. You got a crit on that last one. Give yourself an upgrade on your side and 3 purple. And then roll. I think that's the difficulty there, unless you want to spend a story point or anything like that.
I think it'll. Oh, I don't want to jinx it. Let's see what happens.
Nice. All right. So you take a strain. Yeah. You take a strain and you get 3 good shapes. You get 3 successes, and they have to like they don't increase speed. They maintain distance because they're still kind of following you, but there's enough confusion that you've kicked in. There is a protocol for confirming messages. So now they actually have to contact the ship and get confirmation that there isn't any cake. And then they can continue with the mission. So they're locked in position. They're not going to get any closer, which might give you a chance to get them to medium range with your shit truck. So yes, they're very confused about this like message, and they're going to be extra mad when they catch you and there wasn't any cake, and they're going to be like, "You promised me cake, filthy synth."
If they catch us,
honestly, like there's on board the shuttle, the Triangulum officer. You know, we see them in the ship. She leans over, just roll her eyes, and she activates the comm panel, and we see like connecting to the ship. And so you've bought them. You bought yourself some time. What I guess the next thing that happens is we see the truck peel around this almost 90-degree turn, heading directly towards the wall of fire. And on the ship, Christine starts realizing what's happening, and she looks at the wall. She looks at you, and she's got blood like dripping out her face. She looks at you, and she like blinks. And she's like, where? No, and like points at the wall of fire you are barreling towards.
Does she look at Johnny?
She's just panicking in general. Like, why isn't anyone else freaking out that we're driving towards this terrific wall of fire?
Hey, it's a mirage. It's not real. We're gonna go through it. You're not gonna feel anything.
We're going through it? No way.
Yeah.
You watch her. You see on her face, she starts to make the decision whether or not she would survive jumping off the back of the truck right now.
Oh.
So she turns and looks over, and she looks at the wall, and she's like, I'm not. No way. No.
Yes way. And we have to, or they're gonna catch up to us, and it's gonna be even worse.
And she's like looking at the fire and at you, and you just hit her in the face, and she doesn't know what to think or feel.
Right. He goes over to Christine and
she flinches and like moves away from you, but has nowhere to go.
Okay.
It's like backs up against the rail. And actually, I think she goes from sitting on the bench to sitting on the railing. To try to like back away from you.
Okay, listen. I won't do anything, but you really should stay on the truck with us because otherwise it's not gonna be good down there. They'll get you.
Hadil is looking up at the shuttle, and she mutters almost to herself. She's like, "They're slowing down. Why are they slowing down? What's going on up there?" And we cut to the interior of the shuttle, and there's a couple. Well, the thing is, we cut to the shuttle. We cut to the shuttle, and like there's the pilot, and there's the people in the shuttle, and there's Martin passed out against the wall, And there's 3 people huddled around the console, all being like,
Is there cake? Did they confirm the cake? Get cake confirmation.
And they're just like, the shuttle's just...
Cake before you leave that there's cake. When have I ever lied? Never once have I. Never once. Not a cake
So,
lie.
they are slowed down. Johnny, what do you want to do? Do you want to try to calm her down? Or
yeah, at this point he wants to try restraining her because he doesn't really have any other option. She might jump. She might actually try to jump out of the truck.
Interesting. Restrain her with what?
His hands? I don't know. Just
big, strong arms.
I mean, he got big buff synth arms.
It's not a romantic scene. Like, I mean, I guess this
romantic.
is.
It's not
You hit her
romantic.
in the
He's
face really
literally
hard and confused her. And then what are you gonna do?
for her own
Grab her
good.
by the arms?
Yeah. She's not gonna like it, but he's just gonna have her in like a bear hug and be like,
Shut up, baby.
Oh,
No jumping. No jumping.
Okay, so you want to try to grab her and just like hold her. Okay, all
She's
right.
gonna freak out, but it's literally like a puppy that's like, oh, why am I here? Why am I at the vet's office? Like, sorry, you cannot leave. We have to stay here. This is for you. Yeah. So he's just gonna try and restrain her.
Okay, all right. So you're gonna make an athletics check.
Okay.
The difficulty is gonna be you want to try to grab her and restrain her.
Probably gonna suffer some psychic damage from this, like psychological
It's gonna be
damage.
three purple. I mean, she's not a human. It doesn't trigger any of your like don't do this instincts. Yeah, so it's gonna be 3 purple, and then I'm gonna use a story point. I'm gonna upgrade. So you should have 3 purple and 1 upgrade on the bad side.
On the upgrade on the bad side? Okay.
Yeah. 3 purple, 1 upgrade on the bad side. Throw a black die on the bad side for the like jostling of the truck for the general like just shitty situation. Do you want to spend a story point for an upgrade on your end or a downgrade on mine? Or what do you want to do any of that stuff? You got 4 points.
I'm trying to think if this would be something because Johnny cares about Christine a lot.
Yeah.
So I think, I think we'll go ahead and spend a story point to, Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that upgrade.
So put it on. So if you want to do it, so you won't get rid of it, but put a downgrade on the other side as well. So it'll say 1 and 1, and then 3 purple, and 1 black.
Okay. Yep. All right.
So 1
and
black,
so for this
3
pool,
purple.
in my dice pool, I still have a blue square. Should I get rid of that?
You get rid of that. Yeah.
And also get rid of the 1 upgrade.
Yes.
Okay. All right. This is going to be kind of a tough roll to make, probably, but we're going to go for it. So this is athletics, you said?
It is. Yeah. Which is a skill you have. So.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Good shapes. Hey, there you go.
Well, it's just
okay.
Yeah, okay.
You got a success. You got a success and 2 success and 2 threats.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you grab her, but take 2 strain in the process.
Okay.
So you get your arms around her and she like fights and she's panicking. She's like, I don't want to go through the fire. And you grab her and you pull her aside. And yeah, normally one of those purple dice would be a red die, but you spent to apply a downgrade, so it pulled it back down. So everything's fine on the dice. And yeah, you grab her and you pull her down to the deck. You get just the briefest look from Hadil, like, okay. She doesn't seem to care about the fire, and and now she's held down. She's struggling. She's fighting you. Do you want to continue restraining her, or like, because if all you have is your hands, you have to dedicate all your attention to keeping her from freaking out. You want to get her in a headlock? What do you want to do now? You got her.
At this point, he doesn't have anything else to do except try and keep the people in the bed safe. So he is going to restrain Christine. Probably focus his attention on her because otherwise she could theoretically that would be suicidal if she jumps out. Like that would just be bad. So yeah, he's gonna restrain her, try and get her through this. And if she hates him at the end of it, by God, he tried.
Okay. All right.
Sorry if this is coming off a little like maybe abusive is. He's really trying to just keep her from jumping out the truck, y'all. Like he doesn't want to hurt her, but she is
it's clear.
Terrified.
It's clear Johnny's
really
intent.
Really wants to just keep her safe for her own good, even though she's like, I just gotta get out of here. It's like, no, we gotta do this. We gotta do it. Yeah, the bed of the truck. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're like holding her down, trying to get her to stop freaking out. Let's have you make a roll to impart that to her, that like, hey, I'm just doing this for your own good. Calm down. Let's see if you can get her to figure that out.
Okay.
So her willpower is pretty screwed right now from you hitting her in the face earlier. So she's more pliable than usual. Make a, I feel like this is coerce, not charm. Make a coercion roll. And do it with one purple die in your pool.
One purple die.
It's one purple die. No other modifiers.
Okay. No other modifiers. And this is coerce.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, this is gonna be rough. Oh.
Okay. All right. So mark another strain, but you get your 2 successes, and she like calms down.
Okay.
And she's hyperventilating a little bit, or like fake hyperventilating, but she's just like lying there now. She stopped struggling.
Okay. Good.
And yeah, and her panic subsides.
Okay.
Yasna, you see on the HUD ahead of you temperature warnings as you race towards the wall of fire. So what we see is a line of red-orange flame ahead of you from the firemen behind it, burning away all of this dying or dead farm debris, all this grass. So there are buildings occasionally, like dilapidated farm buildings or collapsed silos to either side of this larger road as you are tearing towards the fire. There is an alarm going off that indicates to you that you have entered a restricted area, and there are security and safety warnings like turn back, this is an illegal zone, whatever. And as you are rushing towards it, you can see just vaguely above and behind, in the clouds of smoke billowing up from this, you can see these enormous earth churners, harrowing robots in the back.
So with all that chaos and everything, I think there's actually, before I take my action, there'd be a moment where, the alarm's going off and temp warning, and like you can obviously see it, and you said it's loud as shit. And like what Yasna experiences for just a brief moment is just like complete silence. But as she kind of like gazes into the fire, she can just see this like remnants of her past, which is just like these synths sort of in the fire and like, melting and burning. And it's just this like frame of horror that it experiences.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen things these people wouldn't believe, right? Like this, driving into a wall of fire, it's no C beams glittering in the dark, right? Like you've been in way worse situations than this. It's intense.
Say, yeah. And there's just that moment where it's like, suddenly a window into the past, and then it's like snap back and fucking guns it.
All right. Okay. So as you barrel towards the fire, there's no question you'll collide with this wall of heat. Haley, Autumn, and Yasna, you are in the cab, so you're going to be protected from the fire. Johnny and Hadil and Christine, on the other hand, are going to have a slightly less good time of it. Less
good time.
Yes, it'll be less good for you. So let me see if you're in the vehicle. I guess probably we could apply the brace for impact. Maybe take an action for everybody to like get down.
Impact.
Yeah. So bracing for impact is for the vehicle. But Yasna, I assume you don't slow down or evade, right? You're just
no,
going
because
as fast as
speed
this
will
thing
get
can
us
go.
through
Yeah.
the fire. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the vehicle itself's going to take a hit, and then people inside the vehicle will be protected somewhat by it. Okay. Cool. Well, maybe I'll just roll some. I'll roll some attacks against everybody, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. All right. So this thing is pretty well armored. So the three of you inside likely won't get too banged up. But outside, big wall of fire. You might light on fire. We'll see. Now, I want to know, Johnny, are you protecting Christine? Or are you going to just like lay on top of her so the fire hits you?
Yeah, that was his original plan because he was like, well, I mean, there's not much else I can do. I can try to like be her shield here. And just, I guess try and keep any circuits or anything from melting. That he'll probably take some damage from it, but that's the goal.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna roll, and I'm gonna say the damage to the vehicle minus the armor of this thing. So the vehicle's like a person. It's got a defense and an armor stat. So it's got defense of 2. So I'll add 2 black dice to this pool. Now you're driving right into it. You're making no effort to avoid it. So there's no purple dice in the damage pool. And I'm gonna say giant wall of fire. I'm gonna say two green and 2 yellow. I think. Yes, this is gonna be rough. Now, do you want to spend? You can spend a story point to downgrade the difficulty of the vehicle or anything like that if you want, the difficulty of the attack, but it's up to you.
I think we have to. I think this is going to be real bad if we don't.
Yeah, you want to spend one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll apply a downgrade on my side because there's no difficulty to alter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you plunge into the flame. The truck reaches the edge of the wall of fire and flies into it. It vanishes from sight into this wall of smoke and fire. And for a moment, you are all absorbed in hell, basically. There's just flame everywhere. The paint on the outside of the vehicle is peeling. The alarms are going off inside. You can see the fuel system is starting to overheat. It should be only a second, but it feels like you're in it for an hour. Let's roll and see how it does. Okay, so it's not a crit. Nobody takes like horrific damage. Everybody in the vehicle's internal bay, everybody who's sitting in the cab, you are gonna take this damage as strain. So you'll take 6, 7, 8 minus your willpower as soak. So Autumn, what's your willpower?
My will is 3.
Okay, so you take 5 strain from the stress of ripping through this thing. Haley, what's your willpower?
2.
2. Okay, so you take 6 strain. And then Yasna, what's your willpower? You're muted.
Sorry, Marcus.
Sorry. I am also 2.
Okay, so you'll also take 6 strain.
But
okay.
So I have a question. I have one of my talents is second wind, which lets me basically heal an amount of strain equal to my rank, which is 2. Can I just activate that so I'm only taking
right before you hit the wall?
4? Yeah. So I'll add 6, right?
I mean, you described that moment of like reaching into your history, your past for strength, right? So that totally makes sense. Yeah.
And then I add 6. Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah,
so that's good. Okay. So what's everybody at for strain now? Yasna, how much do you have?
I have 8.
8 of what's your total? What's your threshold?
12.
Okay. 12. And Autumn, what's yours? You're at 8 of 12 as well?
No, I'm 11 out of 15 because I'm
okay, good. So you're right.
I'm a higher strain.
Haley, how about you?
I'm 7 out of 10.
Okay. All right. So you're all still conscious. Yeah, you're all still awake. The whole thing is horrifying, and it's like a visceral reaction. Suddenly, it's like being inside a microwave, like a TV dinner, because you're in a metal box that is surrounded by fire. So anyone
screaming, it's like
anyone who's capable of sweating is drenched in it. Yeah. Autumn is screaming. Haley, what's your reaction? What do we see? So Autumn is screaming. Yasna is in like combat fugue. What is Haley doing as you tear through this wall of fire?
So I like to think that the light from the fire is like hitting her face perfectly, so she's glowing, and she's sort of very stoically facing forward, maybe a bit of a smirk on her face, and then the heated air that is making its way through like whatever cracks in the cab or what have you in the screen are blowing her curls back and forth, and it's like in slow motion, very, very dramatic.
I cannot not picture that little girl looking at the camera with the fire in the background, smirking. Like that's just what I see. Like they're like,
with her curls like waving in the wind.
Amazing, terrifying, and amazing. Perfect. Okay, so just unflinching as the fire tears through. The window is like cracking. So that's all well and good. Outside, the fire hits you. You physically feel it this time. The fire rolls over the back of the truck. Hadil gets down, crouches as you suddenly get terribly burnt. You can feel your skin peeling and cracking. The air is suddenly sucked out of the room. You feel like you can't breathe, and you are pummeled with this almost physical like wall of fire. So, I need you to roll. I guess you don't need to roll, and you just take some wounds. So, Johnny, what is your soap?
1.
Okay. Should be higher than that. I think it's your brawn because you're tough, right? So your brawn, it should be 4.
Oh,
yeah, you're the best person to be out here. Yeah. Okay. So you're only going to take 4 wounds.
Oh. I thought I took 6 strain.
No, strain is for people who are inside during the fire. Wounds are for everybody outside.
Wounds, of course. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna take 4 wounds.
That ain't shit, Adam.
How are you doing for wounds? How close to your threshold are you?
My threshold's 15, so Johnny's doing well.
Yeah. Well, you got shot before too, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
Actually.
Yeah, Martin shot you.
For some reason I put that in strain though. I thought that went into strain.
No, that was a wound as well.
Okay, so how much was that
one? That's great. That's a good question.
That's a great question, actually. I am not sure how much damage he would have taken.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Well, chat will do it. Just be like, chat, go and watch the episode back.
Yeah, just go check in on that real quick. Well, we could legitimately just take a break here because we're due one. So why don't we, as the fire rolls into the back of the truck, as it tears through it peels and cracks the exterior of the thing. We hear screaming. There is fire, and we'll find out how Johnny does when we come back from the break. So stick around. We got lots more of today's episode of Verona when we get back.